Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Lebrot and I wanted to take a day to record what my Camp NaNoWriMo writing routine looks like. A few weeks ago I did film a video called Building My Writing Schedule because now that I'm out of school I wanted to see just kind of like how productive I could be within a day, and then from that video I've sort of taken that information and twisted it into becoming my writing routine. I wake up around 9:30 and head upstairs around 10. I pour myself a glass of water and open up my computer. I try to have my documents already pulled up for me because I learned that I can write pretty well before I wake up too much to argue with myself about writing first thing in the morning. And because this is where I left off, making sure that when I last time closed my computer that I opened to my 2 documents up. My rough draft is over here so I can compare it for notes and see how things were worded. And then this is my second draft, aka the draft that I'm editing. This month for Camp NaNoWriMo, I did several videos, I think, about my goals, and then recently I changed my goals. But this month for Camp NaNoWriMo, what I'm trying to accomplish is all big picture editing in my project DE. And I've noticed that if I wait until I'm awake, which is typically like early afternoon, I don't get as much writing done in the day. And if I'm awake, I can talk myself out of editing or writing, but if I'm like still half asleep, I will do the work. I try to finish my first glass of water during that first editing sprint. I try to do sprints of at least 20 minutes. Typically I aim for 30, but if the session is going well and the words are flowing, I will keep going until the words are no longer flowing and then cut it off there. And then at some point after my first editing sprint, I will go ahead and have breakfast. Typically that's late morning, sometimes early afternoon, but today I believe it was around 11:45. It's now 11:51 and I'm gonna sit down and have my breakfast because I do a little bit of intermittent fasting. And while I'm eating my breakfast, I go ahead and turn on YouTube, which I try not to do too much, but I find myself doing a lot. And I go to AuthorTube and I watch other AuthorTubers and make sure that I comment and like their videos because I know that that is the best way to support other AuthorTubers other than buying their books. While I had those videos playing and while I was occasionally commenting and hitting the like button, I was also working on some YouTube work. I try to spend a little bit of time every day working on my YouTube channel, whether that's responding to comments, editing a video, or learning ways to improve it. Today it was making my new channel art while watching other people's videos. It's now 12:30. And I just got done making a couple different options for my new channel art. And I sent over what I made to get a couple opinions from some people. And then while I'm waiting to hear back from them, I'm gonna go get ready for the day and then I'll do another editing sprint. I am now ready for the day. It's almost 1 o'clock. I am now awake completely. And so now that I'm awake, I have to work on almost like tricking myself into wanting to write because I'm so good at procrastinating that I will procrastinate forever unless I trick myself into doing productive things. And so one of my tricks is to, like, for example, when I go get ready for the day, is to say, okay, I'm gonna go get ready, because it's a very simple task, just like changing, washing my face, brushing my teeth. And then after I do that and I come back upstairs, then I'm just gonna sit down at my computer and write. And so when I put down my computer earlier today, what I did was made sure that all of my documents were up. And so I didn't open my computer to a YouTube or a Netflix tab so that it's right there when I open my computer, so I can't not work on it. My current editing setup is my computer where I'm doing all of my editing, of course my glass of water, and my notebook in which I took all of the notes when I read my rough draft because this is the big picture edit. I wanted to make sure that I was not focusing on smaller things and that everything that I was doing affected the plot and like the character arcs. And so in order to help myself, my now self, my past self, made 18 pages of notes when I was rereading the rough draft. And so now, as I've been going, I'm following these notes and I cross them off when I have finished the bullet point. So one of my favorite things about my writing routine are my productive breaks. And what I mean by productive breaks are essentially using the time between writing or editing that you use on tasks that keep your hands busy and keep you doing things, especially productive things, but are not creatively exhausting, so that your brain can still be thinking about what you need to be thinking about without honestly really thinking about it. It's all subconscious and it all kind of like goes to the back of your head, but like your head's still working on things while you're being productive and doing other things. And it's a really great tip on how to have a very successful, productive day. Granted, it's much easier for me to find productive breaks when I am alone in an apartment, and much less easy to find things to do for productive breaks when I'm home with my family. I was able to find something to do today for creative breaks, but the tasks overall are currently harder to find. All right, bed has been made, desk has been mostly cleared off. I just basically need to move the things that are still sitting there, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and do another editing sprint. While I was making my bed and cleaning off my desk, instead of watching a YouTube video, one of my friends actually FaceTimed me, and it was really nice to get to talk to her while I was doing my productive breaks. Something that I have noticed in using this Camp NaNoWriMo in April is that I find it much easier editing for longer sprints of time than I find it writing for longer sprints of time. There's a chance that this is because I am coming off of a crazy productive week of finding an apartment, packing, moving, and somehow finding the time to do a 10-hour write-a-thon within that. So I might still be writing the momentum for that a little bit, but today I found myself doing several 45-minute sprints instead of my typical 20 or 30. But who knows, maybe I'm just getting better at dodging distractions. While editing, I do try to do at least a page per sprint. When I write, I aim for time goals, but when I'm editing, I've noticed that I aim for distance or page goals. I try to get out of the house every day. Sometimes that does not happen, but I try to every day. Normally it's to go for a walk, but the weather was kind of gross today, kind of cloudy and cold, and there's snow on the ground again for whatever reason. And so today, getting out of the house was a Starbucks run with my mom and sister. I try to do 4 to 5 writing or editing sprints a day. I try to finish before around 6 p.m., which is roughly when we have dinner and my dad gets off work and my sister's done with school, because kind of as soon as family time starts, I don't have much time for writing, because typically we eat dinner together and then we either play a game or watch TV or a movie. And today it was a little bit different. I was working on a puzzle with my mom while my dad switched out our sound system for the TV. From my building my writing schedule video, I learned that I have roughly 2 to 3 hours of creative energy within a day, and I shoot to achieve those 2 or 3 hours in 4 to 5, maybe 6 writing or editing sprints, all before 6 p.m. Later in the day, if I feel like I'm dragging, sometimes I will try and see if there is a live write-in going on AuthorTube, because especially during the month of April Camp NaNoWriMo, everybody is doing live write-ins, and so there's always plenty of community to be found on YouTube, especially when you're not really feeling like writing and you need somebody else to tell you to write. Basically, it's a great way to get it done. Something that I have found to be very, very important is my stretching breaks, and I typically take those throughout the day, but then before I go to bed, I make sure that I stretch my back because I don't have great posture. That is something that I'm working on. I'm even sitting really poorly right now, but I try to do stretches every night that will help me improve my posture and help me not have a sore back. And a part of a writing routine is how often I do it. I try not to take any days off, so I don't really give myself weekends. But that's a little bit more difficult right now because I'm in Minnesota with family, and when my dad's not working, my sister doesn't have school, there's a lot more distractions on the weekends. And so I'm trying to be nicer to myself when I don't hit those 2 or 3 hours of productive editing time, because it is really nice to be around family and that time is really important to spend with them. All right, you guys, that is my writing routine. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very curious about how Camp NaNoWriMo in this weird time of everybody staying home has affected your writing routine. I would love to know in the comments down below, so please go drop a comment, tell me about it, because I've noticed that community is incredibly important in succeeding in Camp Nano, and AuthorTube has presented me with this amazing opportunity to interact with other writers, and so go comment down below and I will make sure that I respond to your comment. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you made it this far, that's amazing, thank you so much. But liking and subscribing to my channel really helps tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed my video and that other people might too. And that really helps my channel grow. That's how we hit 500 subscribers, you guys. Thank you so much. If you are not currently subscribed, I post videos twice a week. It seems like on Mondays I post a more solidified writing video. Like today, it was all about my writing routine. A couple weeks ago, it was a 10-hour write-a-thon. And on Thursdays, I post my weekly writing vlog, kind of just following my week, how my writing went each day, sort of what scenes I was working on, how much I got done, showing the grand progress of my Camp NaNoWriMo adventure. But all right, that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!